Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Andre. Today's video is a recipe video, and it's a recipe that's been passed down to me from my mum. So I had actually posted this on my Instagram stories whilst I was cooking it, and it proved to be really popular, and I did have a lot of messages asking me for recipes and telling me how much they had enjoyed it, and you know, that they were going to try it, or you were going to try it, or whatever. So I decided to make a video of me actually making Macaronia tou Fournou, which actually translates as macaroni in the oven. In Greece it's called basticio. So I hope you enjoy the recipe. If you give it a try, then please leave me a comment telling me in the comments below. I know when I posted it on my Instagram stories, my friend B Rachel gave it a try and it looked amazing, but she is actually a very good cook. And if you enjoy it, then remember to thumbs up, and bon appetit, galinorexin, and enjoy. So here we have a pot where we're boiling some water and just added some salt, and I'll just go through all the ingredients, but that's just to boil the macaroni. So this is the type of macaroni that we use. So as you can see, it's a very thick macaroni, and we have here some parsley. And so we've got parsley here, we've got mint here, we've got salt here, we've got chicken stock cubes here, we have haloumi, so it's a packet of haloumi, we have beef mince here, that's about 1 kilogram of beef mince we have here. Here we have the ingredients for the white sauce, so that's just plain flour, butter and milk. What is that, about 125 grams of flour, equal amounts of butter and 2 pints of milk. And my husband will be making the white sauce, because nobody makes a white sauce like my husband, and my boys and my husband think it's hilarious when I make a white sauce, so he'll be doing that because it's the most amazing white sauce when he makes it. So we've done the mince. So here we have some tomato puree, cinnamon, pepper and olive oil, and as I'm cooking along we'll show how all of these ingredients come together, because we use most of these ingredients throughout the recipe. Going back to the macaroni, this is the thickness of where are you, of the macaroni. Here it is here. So that's actually how thick that macaroni is, just there. So it's a thick macaroni there. I've got just the grater for grating the haloumi, which will be grated. So yep, that's the ingredients which will all come together to make Macaronia tou Fournou. So we're just going to add a couple of stock cubes into the boiling water. That's not my hairy arm, by the way, that's my husband's hairy arm. So that's just the stock cubes being added. Okay, just adding the macaroni to the stock. It's now stock, apparently, according to my husband, because we've added the stock cubes, it's no longer water. So the water stock came to the boil, adding the macaroni, and just going to wait for that to cook through. And while that's cooking, we're going to start making the mince in this pot just here. So just here I have a pot. If you have normal pots, you would add a wee bit of oil for frying your mince. My pots are these AMC pots, which we don't add oil to. So we're just going to put the mince in. Heated the pot up first, just adding the mince just to brown off the mince. So we have the macaroni boiling just here, and just here I'm still browning off the mince, Just going to brown it all off, then I'm going to add all my seasonings to the mince. So we have the mince here all browned. I've turned down the heat. I've still got my macaroni there. I'm just going to crumble in some stock cubes. Again, I'm going with my mum's recipe. Everybody has their own recipe for doing Macaronia tou Fournou. This is our family recipe. So just crumbling in 2 chicken stock cubes, which just add that extra flavour. So I'm just going to give that a stir in, making sure that the stock cubes dissolve into the mince and are well stirred in. So I'm then going to continue to add the rest of the ingredients. So here I have some dried parsley. So I mean that's well more than a pinch, but that's it. Just it's all about flavouring. So that was about, I would say that was about 2 teaspoonfuls of parsley in there. I'm just going to stir it, and it's all by eye, just by looking at it, and then I'm going to taste it and see if it's needing anything else. Just stirring it all in, which is making sure that everything is spread throughout the mince and not sitting in one place. Then again, I'm going to go in with the mint, and this is one of the flavours that you want in the macaroni as a strong flavour. So again, going in with the mint, that's one, I would say teaspoonful, 2, and I would go again with a 3rd here. So that's about 3 teaspoonfuls of mint. You get the lovely aroma of the mint just coming through, and that's a lot of mince there. So you're needing quite a lot of herbs to get the flavour coming through. Again, I'm going to add some salt, and this is about a teaspoonful of salt. Don't know if I'm going to use it. So I would say it's about a teaspoonful and a half actually. And we've put the stock cubes in there, so we don't need too much salt because stock cubes tend to be quite salty. You're going to get a lot of salt coming through the haloumi, which we're going to spread on the macaroni, and some in our white sauce and to top it as well. So we need to be careful with salt on this. We're not great salt eaters in our family. Again, we're going to grind in some nice black pepper. Now, plenty black pepper. You want that black pepper coming through, just coming through. Plenty, plenty, plenty. I've got some thicker ground pepper here, which I'm also going to add. So it's just slightly chunkier than the ground pepper, and I'm just going to add that because we like our pepper, and you need it to come through. Plenty of black pepper in there. I would say that was about a teaspoonful of black pepper. There we go. Just again, I like to keep stirring everything through, making sure all the ingredients goes through. I'm now getting the aroma of the black pepper, which is exactly what I'm looking for. Cinnamon. Now, cinnamon is a spice you need to be careful of, because too much cinnamon will bring in bitterness, is what I find. So I'm really careful with cinnamon. But again, we have a lot of mince here, so I'm going to go in, I would say, about half a teaspoonful of cinnamon. There we go. Just taking it through. I'm going to add in about 2 teaspoonfuls of tomato purée. Some people like to add tomatoes, 10 tomatoes, go 3 for this amount of reds, but again, I'm going to check it. Some people like to add onion. We don't add that in our recipe. We try and keep it just with the mince. You know, you don't want it tasting like lasagna, although some people will compare this to lasagna. You don't want that kind of taste. You want kind of a minty taste, which is quite a traditional taste in a lot of our Cypriot dishes. So that's in. That was 3 teaspoonfuls of tomato puree. I'm going to go with another one. By looking at my mince here, I feel it's needing another one. So that's another big one in there. Going in, stirring it all in, making sure it's all the way through. Again, I do feel as if I'm going to add another one. So that was what, about 4 teaspoonfuls, yeah, 4 teaspoonfuls of tomato puree I put in there. My husband's showing me 5 now, so check back on the video and we'll see, but I felt it did need it. Also gonna add some wine. You know me and my wine, we need to add a bit of wine. You can add both red or white wine. I'm just gonna turn this macaroni off just now. That's the macaroni off. You know, I would say this is about the only time with macaroni you're not looking for that al dente, because you want it quite soft when you're cutting through it as well. Just going to add a splash of wine, and I'm just adding red here because that's what I've got sitting next to me. And what have we got here? A bottle of Carmenere. So it's that's just to bring out some moistness in my mince, because I don't want it too dry. So that's it, nice, that's it, giving it that nice moistness now. Okay, so I've tasted my mince and I felt it needed a bit more mint, it needed a bit more cinnamon in it, a bit more puree, so I added a bit more of everything. I just felt it needed a wee bit more flavouring. It was then suggested by my husband I take a couple. I felt it was still too dry. You don't want it wet, but you know, you don't want it completely dry there. So my husband suggested I add about 2 tablespoons of the stock from the macaroni, and just added it, and it's just perfect now. So I'm going to drain the macaroni. Going to let that cook off because we've cooked off the wine. Just let it to continue just simmering just slightly. Drain off the macaroni, and I'm going to put that into the dish and we'll do that. So just taking the pot over, and I have my sieve already in there. Not my sieve, my
colander.
My colander, and just going to drain off that. So just putting in the macaroni now, just in here. So I'm just going to add the olive oil, and that stops it from sticking, as well as adding flavouring. Just give it a good stir in, and then I'm going to add some mint. So just gonna sprinkle the macaroni with mint, and this again is just adding flavour throughout the dish. So you don't have just the flavour sitting in your mince, you want your flavour going throughout your dish. Again, stirring it through, and you want your macaroni to be nice and moist. There we go. I didn't rinse this off in cold water or anything, I just drained it, made sure it was drained, and put it in the dish here. And these bits that were hard to grate, I'm just gonna add into the macaroni again adding that flavour into the macaroni, and that just again is adding the flavour straight through, and then another wee sprinkling and a wee sprinkling here, and that's it, fine. And then you just leave it, and then I'm going to add my mint to that. So I'm just going to spoon in my mince on top of the macaroni. In fact, I'm just going to do it this way, it'll be a lot quicker. So I'm just going to spread this all over the macaroni. So here you can see now I have covered the macaroni with the mince, and my husband is now going to make the white sauce, and we're going to put it over the mince. So he's going to start off with warm milk, and we'll take it from there. So here in the pot, actually using the same pot that we boiled the macaroni in, he's put in the butter and some salt. So here we have the melted butter and the salt. Now adding the flour, 125 grams of flour. Basically what he's doing here is making a roux. So he's actually added a wee bit more flour because he felt it was just too wet. So again, with cooking, it's all about judging and looking at what you're doing. So now he's just going to add some warm milk to the flour and butter. Again, adding some more milk. And he's just going to keep adding all the milk until it all comes together and you've got a lovely creamy white sauce. So he's just turned the heat down. It was up high to start off with, and he's just turned the heat down now. That's all the milk being added so far. So that's the white sauce so far. We're going to add a wee bit more milk because we just feel for that size of dish, it just needs a wee bit more. So we're just warming up some more milk. I've added a stock cube to the milk. My husband doesn't like the idea, but again, the way my mum used to make it when she used to make her white stock for the macaroni, she always added flavourings to the white stock, so you didn't just have a bland flavour of white stock. I've just had a wicked look from my husband when I said bland, but it's just to add the flavours of the macaroni throughout the dish. So I'm going to also add halloumi to the white stock as well, just to get that flavouring again into your white stock. And again, you're getting the flavours right through the macaroni. So that's just some more milk, and it's in that milk there that I added a stock cube because I'm not allowed to add it into the pot here. But if he wasn't here, I would have added it to the pot. So I'm just going to add some halloumi to the dish as well. So that's just some halloumi, just that wee bit extra flavour in there. There we go. And again, I would add a bit of black pepper in here as well. And he's still frowning at me.
Put white pepper in a white sauce.
Right, okay, apparently you put white pepper in a white sauce, but hey ho. There we go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take the white sauce and we're going to put it over the mince. Oh no, actually we're not, I forgot, I was going to add eggs just now. So we've turned off the heat just now, and we're just going to add in the 3 beaten eggs to the mixture. So that's it, being added. Not a lump or a bump in sight. Okay, just gonna pour it over. Yeah, you can. There we go, just pouring it over the mince. Yummy, perfect. And of course we're gonna scrape off whatever's left in the pot. So here we have the white sauce over the mince now. So we've got the layer of macaroni, the layer of mince, layer of white sauce. Now I'm going to top it with haloumi, plenty of haloumi, just here. And that's going to become a nice golden colour. I like, again, it's all according to taste. We like halloumi, we like the flavour of halloumi. So in this recipe we use a whole halloumi throughout. There we go. So that's the halloumi there. And then I'm going to top it lightly with some cinnamon. Over the top, and then I'm going to also add some mint. So that's it, slightly, lightly topped with cinnamon, and then the mint as well. And whilst my husband was making the white sauce, we then put the oven on to 120. So that's it, ready for the oven. Middle shelf of the oven. Whoa! Tripping over the dogs. Straight in. And then we just leave it in there until it becomes a nice golden brown. About 20 minutes maybe, and just letting the white sauce cook through as well. So yeah, now I'm going to wash all the dishes. We're going to cut a Greek salad, and it was, I said 120 Celsius, but it's actually 180 Celsius that I've got the macaroni in at. So yeah, now it's time for the dishes, and yeah, that's my hair up when I'm cooking, as you can see. So on with the dishes. Okay, so that's about 20 minutes now, and we did turn the dish halfway as well, and this is what it looks like. And as you can see, we've cleaned up all the mess as well. Ta-da! There we go. Macaronia tou Fournou, macaroni in the oven, oh basticio, yummy! So there's a close-up of it. So we're going to let this cool down, because you're better letting it cool down before you cut into it, because then you can get your nice square pieces out of it. Now going to cut the salad, and all the mess has been cleaned up. Yay! So here we go. We're supposed to let this cool down, but it's so yummy. Nobody's waiting. And there's the salad. So today's wine, we have Grey Wacky Sauvignon Blanc.
Gala Bingo sponsors the chase.
I once poured the wine with my left hand in the restaurant, and I was told that was bad luck, so I tend to be a bit ambidextrous when pouring the wine. Doesn't matter which one.
every day. And reduces plaque. So you feel ready for your day. Colgate Total Free.
So that's my latest recipe. That is my eldest son, who happens to be a director of a company and still hasn't grown up. Yeah, there he's there. He thinks I'm going to edit this out. Do you know, actually I'm not going to edit this out because he's been being silly. I'm telling you, I'm not editing this out. Right, so that was my recipe. This is a madhouse. Please give me a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed and you want to see more madness, then please subscribe, and I'll catch you later.